We praise you, Father. Abba, the strong one of this house. We praise you, Abba. You are good. Your grace and your mercy endures forever and ever is your faithfulness. For without trust, it is impossible to please you. And let those who have ears hear. Shalom. It's April something. I forget what day. Hold on. 2/6/26, 6:30 and something in the morning. Your weapons. I'm not exactly sure if this will be posted. If someone else is watching it besides me, I guess it's been posted. But it's really strong this morning. This word just popped up and came. The weapons. And we're not talking about, the weapons in Ephesians, but rather in that wicked city of Romans, chapter 6. Verse 12. Therefore, do not let sin rule in your mortal bodies, so that it makes you obey its desires. And do not offer any part of yourselves to sin as an instrument or weapon. I'll read from another canon here. Therefore, do not let sin continue to rule as king. Therefore, do not let sin continue to rule as king. That's heavy. But I know what that's like. For sin being the king, and what the king get, everybody got to do what the king say. Everybody got to bow and kiss the king, kiss the ring of the king. But how horrible is that when sin is the king? Therefore, do not let sin continue to rule as king in your mortal bodies, that you should obey their desires. And what's beautiful about this, what Paul is writing, right? He does this in other places. It's such a separation. If you look back, or you continue even in these, we're in Romans chapter 6, continue on in Romans chapter 7, there's a separation. The things I would do, those are things I don't do, and the things I don't want to do, or the things I keep doing. Therefore it is no more I that do it, but sin that dwelleth within me. We're in my mortal body, but we're in chapter 6, and it's always a separation of the flesh, of sin, if you have his spirit within you. But that flesh is where the sin lives, and consequently is where you gotta live, at least your spirit, inside that same flesh. And thus is the war. Verse 12, chapter 6, therefore do not let sin continue to rule as king in your mortal bodies, that you should obey their desires. Who is they? The members of your body. That you should obey their desires. Neither go on presenting your members to sin as weapons of unrighteousness, but present yourselves to Elohim as those alive from the dead, also your members to Elohim as weapons of righteousness. So these are weapons. These are weapons. Your members are your weapons. Yeah, brother, your hands and your feet. And absolute, of course, number one is the mouth. These are weapons. Yeah, woman. You strap, and that's a weapon. It's written. It's a weapon. It's a weapon. For real. You know, the members of your bodies are weapons, spiritually. Now, what are we yielding these weapons to? Are these weapons of righteousness or unrighteousness? It's a weapon, meaning that it causes harm. And it causes very precise harm in one who is trained in how to use the weapon, i.e., Satan, right? Right. So, the weapons. I know what it's like to have my weapon, myself, being used by the adversary very skillfully in war. Like, you can be so evil, you're a skillful weapon against the kingdom of Elohim. A skillful weapon, you know. That means you're being yielded by someone who has skill. And trust me, your adversary, the devil, he has skill. And so does your flesh. So does the world. So, I just was thinking about how much damage my sin has done to the kingdom of Elohim. You ever thought about that? You ever thought about how much sin has damaged who you call your father, Yahweh Elohim, his kingdom? We're weapons, bro. We're weapons. Are we weapons that are being yielded in a skillful way to damage the kingdom of Elohim? Or are we weapons that are skillfully being used by the Ruach HaKodesh to damage the kingdom of the adversary? There is only one or the other. Therefore, do not let sin continue to rule as king in your mortal bodies, that you should obey their desires. Neither go on presenting your members to sin as weapons of unrighteousness, but present yourself to Elohim as those alive from the dead. Also your members to Elohim as weapons of righteousness. For sin must not be master over you. Sin must not be master over you. You know what's funny about these phones? Like, as I'm recording this, I'm actually looking at myself. I promise you, this is all for the guy in the mirror, right? One more time then, right? Therefore, do not let sin continue as king in your mortal bodies, that you should obey their desires. Neither go on presenting your members to sin as weapons of unrighteousness, but present yourselves to Elohim as those alive from the dead. Also, your members to Elohim as weapons of righteousness. You are a weapon. You, my brother, my sister, the man in the mirror, we are weapons. The question is, which skillful user is using you? You know? What kingdom are you being used to destroy? You are a weapon. What kingdom are you being used to destroy? We praise you, Abba. You are good. Your grace and your mercy endures forever and ever. Is your faithfulness. Let those who have ears hear. Shalom. Shalom.